My whole career in medicine was working with Cheryl. She was a 25-year-old recently hired lab technician when I started at Camden. You could tell right away that this person knew her stuff. As she gained experience, she became the go-to person in the lab to figure out what was needed to take care of patients. If one of us ordered the wrong thing, she'd catch it and recommend the right thing. She usually knew what I wanted to do before I knew what I wanted to do. She made me a better doctor, and she took no crap from anyone. If someone wanted to do something stupid, she firmly pointed that out. She worked hard with Dr. Gebhardt to get the highest lab certification for our clinic, and she was very proud of that. But through the years, she became more than a fellow employee. She became a close friend. Our families grew together. As she had daughters, my family had sons. And we compared notes on being new parents and eventually on being old parents. I loved seeing the girls grow as Cheryl brought them into the clinic over the years. She was the proudest, most caring mother, and eventually the proudest, most caring grandmother. She was caring as well to everyone besides her family. If Mike was the captain of the ship, Cheryl was definitely the cruise director. She was on top of everything. When I went back to the lab, it may have been to discuss a patient, but often it was just to talk. We would laugh together, sometimes we would cry together, as Cheryl was presented with many more challenges than anyone should have to withstand. But she faced all these challenges with such strength, such persistence, and usually with such a positive attitude. Man, she was tough in all the best ways. In the early days, some of us from work went camping. That was when I realized that Cheryl had some amazing cooking skills. While we made the usual gruel that you make when you're camping, she was making focaccia over the campfire. When we had work potlucks, I always looked forward to the amazing food she would bring, and I ate way too much of it. About 15 years ago, my 55-year-old sister died suddenly. My parents lost their daughter, my brother-in-law lost his wife, my niece lost her mother, and I lost my sister. Overnight, with no warning. The sadness was paralyzing. For a time, we all wondered how we could get past such profound grief. Thomas Jefferson offered condolences to John Adams after the death of his wife Abigail by noting that, "For ills so immeasurable, time and silence are the only medicine." I can tell you now how true that is, for over time the death of my sister became no less sad, but it did become bearable. Then, as now, I think of her almost daily. I think of how different all our lives would be if she were still around. The pain is mostly gone. The sadness is still there, but so much more bearable. She is not forgotten. She is still loved. And we have all moved on. It will take time for all of you to find Cheryl's death bearable. And that's just fine. Take your time. There is no hurry. As you, Mike, Jennifer, and Connor, Heather, Laura, and Derek relive the amazing memories of Cheryl that you will always have, you will find comfort and take great delight in making sure that Penelope and Olivia learn about the amazing grandmother that they barely got to know. She will live on in those amazing memories you all have of her love, her kindness, and devotion to you all. You will think of her daily, and eventually it will make you smile.